Just as the Garner family teeters on the edge of bankruptcy, Seth Garner's parents come to my doorstep. They beg for a marriage alliance. My father knows I've loved Seth for 10 years, so he pours $10 billion into the Garners to save their empire and marries me off to him on our wedding night. Seth blindfolds me with red silk and takes me again and again with ruthless intensity. A month later, I excitedly bring him the pregnancy report. However, I overhear him at a bar, laughing with his friends. So, who do you think knocked up Luna? Laughter erupts. Seth, don't tell me the child's mine. I bet 100 grand it's his. That's when I realize the man in my bed on our wedding night wasn't even Seth. I storm in and demand answers, but he just sneers. What are you crying for? If your family hadn't threatened me with money and driven Ash away, you think I'd treat you like this? Let me be clear. The day Ash forgives me is the day I let you go, dead inside. I ask for a divorce. He responds by threatening me with footage from our wedding night and locking me in the basement. You're not leaving, you owe Ash, and you'll repay it. 8 months later, I die in that basement, along with the baby I couldn't deliver. When I open my eyes again, I'm back to the day the Garner family first begs my father for that deal. This time, Seth is the one crying on my wedding day. Chapter Lulu, Seth does actually like you very much as well. He'd be delighted if you could marry into our family. I jolted awake, and the sincere expressions of Mr. and Mrs. Garner appeared in my line of vision. In an instant, I realized that I had been reborn. Mrs. Garner held my hand gently and smiled as she said, I know that you've had a crush on Seth for 10 years. If our families had a marriage alliance, my parents chuckled awkwardly. They both knew that the Garners were only here for a marriage alliance because they were on the brink of bankruptcy. They needed my family to inject $10 billion in funds. However, they also knew that I was hopelessly in love with Seth Garner. They felt that it wouldn't be a bad thing if I could marry him and fulfill my wish. However, I now wanted nothing more than for him to die. I recovered and interrupted Mrs. Garner. I don't want to marry Seth. Everyone's gaze swung abruptly toward me. They seemed shocked that I would refuse the marriage, as I had followed Seth around like a lovesick fool for years. Mrs. Garner looked at me in shock. Lulu, did you and Seth get into an argument? I'll give him a scolding when I get back. I shook my head. There's no need for that. Harry Garner thought for a moment. Is it because of Ashley Turner? When I didn't say anything, he sighed. Ashley is just a low-income student that our family is funding. Seth only treats her well because he pities her. Don't worry. I'll send Ashley away as soon as I get home. She'll never appear in front of Seth again. He had said the same thing in my past life, but it had only made Seth hate me. He felt that I had forced Ashley to leave. That was why Seth had allowed me to be tortured by other people on the night of our wedding. After I found out, he imprisoned me in the basement and forced me to have the child, just to bet on whose child it would turn out to be. When my parents realized that something was wrong and came looking for me, Seth revealed the video of our wedding night. He had said to them with a look of hatred on his face, "This is your precious daughter. She's disgusting." My parents had been heartbroken after watching the video, and both of them had fallen sick and taken to their beds. Seth hadn't shown any guilt at all. Instead, he had brought Ashley to me and looked scornfully at me as he said, "When your parents die, I'll take over Wood Corp and give it to Ash as a gift to make things up to her." I had despaired and died during childbirth. At the memory of it, I trembled with anger and blurted out, "Seth isn't worth marrying." Upon hearing what I had said, Harry looked displeased. Our family may not be in the best condition right now, but if your family is willing to invest, I can guarantee that you won't make a loss. He wasn't lying. After my parents invested $10 billion and revived the Garners, their business had gotten better and better. Our family had earned more than $100 million in profits without having to lift a finger. I wasn't going to turn down the chance of getting money, I said coldly.